Hello, friends and collectors. Today, I want to talk about the Boss Fight Studios Vitruvian Hacks Outlaw Skeleton. I picked this figure up, I want to say, about a year and a half ago, and I do some inbox collecting. So, you know, for those of you who don't know, that I keep some of the action figures in the box, and Outlaw Skeleton was going to be one of those until I got the Deadpool cowboy from Marvel Legends, and I ended up having a lot of fun with that cowboy, especially when I purchased a trench coat or like a duster, like a cowboy duster from GPS Lot on eBay. And by the way, GPS Lot has what you're looking for when it comes to soft goods. But I had a lot of fun with that cowboy, and I was like, I have another cowboy that I haven't opened, so I decided to, bring him out. That way, he can be a companion for Deadpool. And I am so glad I did that because this figure right here, I've had so much fun with. He is amazing. Boss Fight Studio is, really cool for coming up with, different characters and designs. I believe there's maybe three or four in this line. There's this outlaw skeleton, and then there is so like a luchador, and he's a skeleton. Then there is I think a Roman soldier or a Spartan. He comes with the sword and shield, and he's in the skeleton. Uh, but out of all the ones that I've seen on this wave, I like the outlaw the best. So I purchased him, but then there he sat in his package. And then, like I said, when I got the Deadpool, I had to open him up. That way he can be a companion. But let's take a little bit closer look at him. Um, oh, and by the way, everything is removable on this figure. Um, I mean, everything where he can just be, you can strip him down to bare bones. No pun intended. Or was it? Um, yeah, you can take off the hat, and then, of course, um, the scarf. You can take off the shirt, the belt, his holster, his boots, and yeah, it's pretty neat. I mean, I've noticed that with a lot of toy companies lately that they're um, really into making you get a figure, and with the playability and options, you can get two figures out of it. And then, of course, lines that are like completely modular, like the Monster Force. There is that new one. I think it's called Meta Travelers, Cosmic Legions, Mythic Legions, and it makes sense because you uh, invest in the line, and that way you can mix and match and create your own different characters. But for right now, we're going to focus on this outlaw skeleton, and let's bring him in for a closer look here. I love that the shirt is textured, um, as well as the bandana. I think I might add a little bit of wash to him. He's got kind of a yellowish orange color, but maybe a little light wash will bring out some more detail. I don't know yet, but yeah, I love this guy. And of course, being a skeleton, you can put him into so many different poses. I mean, he's like if he had the Spider-Man uh, duds, he would be fantastic. I mean, he can pretty much do everything. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and take him off the stand. That way we get a closer look. But before we do that, I want to show you the um, stand that Boss Fight Studios usually includes with their figures, and this really comes in handy, especially for the characters that maybe have a little bit more, um, smaller feet, or they might be a little light. As in this character, you can stand him up, and it takes a little bit of, um, work to balance him. But I just would rather not have him take a dive off the shelf, and so I'm just going to go ahead and use that stand. But let's go ahead and take a look at him. And as you can see, he's got these ghost-like eyes, kind of green. Let's go ahead and pop that head off. Yeah, he's great, and I love how they're, that green was a really good choice. That way, it gives you that ghost kind of specter look. And I believe, yeah, the jaw is articulated. I mean, if you wanted to set him as a prop, you know, but no, we want to make sure he's on that body. But yeah, he's great. And what I love about this character is, well, first, I mean, boss fight are really fantastic for, you know, coming up with their own characters. I'm going to pop the head back on. Oh, what a satisfying sound that is. Boss fight, if you look at their website, they've got a bunch of different original characters. Out of all of them, this one, the one that stood out. And, one of the main reasons is the hat. You got that Western look, the hat, the gun, and he's too cool. I sort of imagine him as the character from High Plains Drifter or Pale Rider, because I believe in both those movies, with Clint Eastwood, he was sort of an apparition or a revenge ghost or a specter. And I wish at some point, that would have been cool to, show like the skeletal, a skeletal creature or bones, like maybe have him sitting in the dark and he lights up a cigar, and the light shines on his face and all you see is a skeleton, but then when he steps out into the light, then he's like, fleshed out. I think that'd been a really cool visual. But yeah, he's my High Plains Drifter, Hell Rider type character, and I'm just in love with that. And then I think, yeah, I think a nice light brown wash would definitely bring out some of the details in the sculpting there, and then maybe dirty up the shirt just a little bit more. I wouldn't really have to touch the boots. Maybe a little bit of black speckles, on the boots. But yeah, I think he'd look really cool. And there's my outlaw. There's my ghost. You can just hear the wind as he's walking. You can hear the spurs. Let me tell you a little bit more about this soft good piece that I got right here. I think it was Operation Monster Force from Big Bad Workshop. I purchased the Donner Party, so it's sort of a reimagination of Frankenstein, but more in the West, like a type of plains drifter, Frankenstein. And with that action figure came a cape or a cloak, and I decided to put that on my skeleton here, my outlaw skeleton. And that is pretty much his definitive look, and that's how he's going to sit on my shelf. As you can see, he comes with a little belt holster clip. I'm not quite sure what that silver is, but I see a pouch right there. It also comes with a pair of trigger fingers, a right and left trigger finger. You can take off the boots and replace them with right and left feet. He's got a rope here that you can attach to his side of his belt. He's got a great rifle, good paint, good detail. Unfortunately, the lever doesn't move, but that's okay. And I don't know, oh, there's a port there. Maybe you could find some kind of blast effect. And then he comes with another head portrait. Unfortunately, the jaw doesn't move. It's not articulated, but looks great on the figure, but I like it more like an accent.